My name is NURUL binti ABDULLAH. My number metric A20A1703.
So I'll be explaining about organization architecture. Organization architecture can be defined as a theory, firm and multiple firms, which integrate the human activity and capital resources utilizations within structure of a task education and coordination to achieve desired outcomes and performance for both in short run and long runs. Organization architecture also can be divided into two types. We have organization space and organization designs. Organizational space is most likely to be in metaphorical sense, while organizational design is most to tactical sense. We have organizational architecture element. We have four elements, which is leadership and management. We have culture, we have structure, and also strategics. And towards this study, we have found 6 journals that 3 of them are divided into more organization space, which is focused on metaphorical, while the other 3 is more to tactical sense. One of the example of tactical sense is one of the journal is examining the moderate role of the external environment of the firm resource and performance of SME in Nigeria by Puba Musa, Fulka Azhari Ramli, Al Munara Muhammad 2018, solely focus on validity and reliability of the pilot study was conducted, while the other one was Genealogy of Organization Architecture, Transhumanistic Invasion of Intellectual Space by Muhammad Rizwan Junaid in 2020. These journals implies that organization architecture influences metaphorical about human intelligence and artificial intelligence.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is HUSNINA binti JUMAAN and my metric number is A20A1867. So today I will present about issue that for the journal that our group have been reviewed. So each journal has its own topic that relevant to corporate architecture. For the first issue is about to identify and eliminate issue that may affect the tool's reliability and validity. As a result, pilot research aims to identify, control, manage and identify gaps or issue that may represent research tools for a specific study in order to make the necessary correction. Next, the following topic is to investigate how the rural university create their entrepreneurial architecture. The impact of the university regional and national context on engagement activity is critical review on CE in the context of emerging market are scarce. Another issue is over the last decade, the evolution of organizational architecture with automated fast-track technology has overwhelmed the specified intellectual space with AI, leaving room for professionals to take care of mind-body relationship. For the first issue is about figurative aspects of organizational architecture. The organizational space from a truly correction perspective within the field of application, unexpected organizational relationship, and thus the intellectual space in use have an impact on human productivity and organizational performance. And for the final issue is the study uses a multimedia entrepreneurial architecture framework for its first time. The research on the impact of organizational culture on innovation reveal characteristic of an entrepreneurial culture that promotes innovation. So that's all for the issue that our group have been reviewed. So thank you for listening.
My name is FAQIHAH binti ZAKARIA and my number metric is A20A1339. I will present about objective in journal review in subject corporate entrepreneurial. The first journal is examining the moderating roles of external environment of the firm, resource and performance of SMEs in Nigeria by Buba Musa Fulka Azhari Ramli and Al Munara Muhammad in 2018. The objective is the magnificence of EO in achieving performance of SMEs is extensively acknowledged in the lecture. Explain that entrepreneurial orientation refers to the process, practice, and decision-making activities that lead to new entry of the SME. The second journal is Technician and Regional Context, Assessing University Entrepreneurial Architecture in Rural Region by Saloma and in 2019. The objective is the aim of this exploratory studies to examine how rural context impacts on the way universities develop their EA. The engagement is largely based on personal linkage with external stakeholders instead of a formal collaboration mechanism, while the structure and the strategy choice are oriented towards serving the local job market and regional priority sector. And then corporate entrepreneurship of emerging market firms, current research and future direction by Irin, Dimaki, Kingin, Crystal Extortia in 2019. The objective is all of the study mentioned better understand two factors that contribute to robust innovation. They do not offer a holistic perspective of CE because it does not to simultaneously cover the de-exploration and strategy reform dimension of CE as set out in the literature. Genealogy of Organizational Architecture, Transhuman Innovation of Intellectual Space by Muhammad Rizwan Junaid in 2020. Organizational space is firstly thinking out of the box, that example a novel and a new perspective of thinking that assimilates human productive behavior with organizational aesthetic with close reference to organizational architecture. The second rationale is entrepreneurial architecture, a framework to promote innovation in large firms by ASRI and Urban in 2018. The SME tests were performed in this study to assess the validity of the EA variables and measurements. The SMEs enable to elimination of a set of relationship between one or more independent variables and one or more dependent variables. The last journal is Entrepreneurial Architecture in UK University, still a work in progress by Lynn and Martin, E.J. Wallace, Les Smith, and Jumaaan in 2017. The objective is the need for more research to understand those routine and norm-reshaped mission progress in UK University and how power relations impact in this context, given by pivotal roles and the power exerted by the senior manager.
My name is AMIRA binti Muhammad ASRI, metric number A20A1678. I will present about the theory. First, they need a small sample size, around 15 to 100 sample respondents. The SME will group into 6 clusters according 6 categories in the geopolitical zone using the data from SME TAN. They use a random sample to collect the data from all respondents. Next theory, the engagement is large based on the personal linkage with external stakeholders instead of our formal collaboration mechanism. Structure and strategy are regional priorities. Such regional also have less qualified human capital and build on innovation activities and support the knowledge economy. The third theory, America focus CE using a primary data to measure firm behavior. Using primary resources of data to identify innovation, strategy, and vetting may also allow for make more holistic and higher quality research. Many research who are focusing CE will emerging in new market. Next, focus for artificial and human intelligence. Human intelligence will allow them to be more creative and innovative, but advanced in IT will be challenges for them because they have to survive with their natural abilities and capabilities. Furthermore, the study used the entrepreneurial architecture predict to the study the impact on output. It impressed the importance of knowledge, information, and learning. The last theory is they using a phenomenological approach to achieve a deeper insight resulting from the use of CE. Only use as internal knowledge, not from research use.
My name is SYAHIR bin Ma'ruf. My metric number is A0386, and I will talk about finding in my journal review. As earlier discussed, the experts include the 3 professors from the Faculty of Management Science, Department of Business Administration and Banking, and 1 from Department of Language and Linguistics from University of Maghwidi. The instrument were refined and fine-tuned to suitability, measure all the construct of the study. The research instrument were based on the real respondent of the study. As a result, the weakness of the questionnaire were detected and correction were made to make the instrument more valid and reliable. For example, Ting has a fewer than 50% of commercial tenant, and at the time of the interview, Spark House office facilities were not full capacity, and the framework is based on 5 key elements that aim to illustrate in more depth how entrepreneurial activity can be embedded into the institutional structure oriented toward the teaching and research. The literature review of CE in EMF revealed that despite of an abundance of research on CE looking into the three prongs of CE, which is innovation, strategic renewal, and new venture, in developed market context, there is sacrifice of literature focusing on CE of emerging market from the holistic perspective. The research of EMF focus on mainly look at the concept of CE individually and both of the CE and EMF literature by showing a holistic perspective on CE, and the studies look into the role of innovation strategy and venture simulation. The unique contents of emerging market, how CE is affected by such as a factor as a formal and institution government role, the organization culture, corporate governance, and leadership style. And CE brings all of potential of study, and they're still under research literature by showing that the stream of research needs more methodologies, and more specifically, our review showed that the CE research should also focus on developing novel research method that only use secondary source of innovation but also include the case of study.
Next, my name is AQILAH binti SAMSURI. My matric number is A20A1614. The conclusion. Overall, based on 6 journals that have been reviewed, the business environment is often changing, requiring careful planning and implementation. External concerns must be examined by business manager and executive to see how they can influence company decision. It is also important to monitor any external environment factor that may affect the way the business operation, as well as develop strategy to address these challenges. External environment factors are important because they can have be direct and indirect impact on business operation, staff, and revenue. The company's external environment is constantly changing in ways that are beyond company's control, but executive and manager can track this change and mitigate the impact. Choosing to monitor the dynamic nature of external environment factors allow businesses to protect themselves from predictable events while minimizing the impact of unforeseen change.